Wet weather pushes through Hampton Roads. Not a lot of people got out as the rain fell in downtown Norfolk today.
Taking a live look from our Norfolk Tower cam right now, you can see, trust me, there's some gray skies out there sticking around. Jeff is in now with what this evening holds for all of us. Jeff?
All right, well, we're talking about, as you mentioned, a lot of clouds out there. A little bit of sprinkle activity every once in a while. What we're going to watch for is a little bit of moisture left over.
Microphone.
Oh, sorry about that.
He doesn't have it on.
All right, he's working on getting that mic fixed. We're going to go on to this story, and this is a final farewell for two fallen naval aviators.
Dozens of people packed into a chapel at NAS Oceana for memorial services for Lieutenant Commander James Johnson and Lieutenant Caleb King. The men died during a training exercise earlier this month when their fighter jet crashed. 13
News Now reporter Allie Weatherton was at the memorial today.
About 600 people gathered in this chapel behind me to remember those two aviators. The mood inside was somber as we heard stories of those two American heroes.
It's a family, it's a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and something like this has very, very deep and real impact.
A chapel packed as hundreds of friends and family of Lieutenant Commander James Bryce Johnson and Lieutenant Caleb King gathered to remember the American heroes.
There won't be a day that they don't remember the loss of those two fine Americans. And for some, that will more deeply affect them than others.
Their jet crashed during a training exercise near Key West. This afternoon, their squadron mates told us a little bit about each of them. Johnson, the pilot, also known as Drama, we're told was a humble pilot. He had a magnetic personality and was a great husband, son, and brother. Everyone looked up to him and could put their trust in him. King, a weapons system operator, was known as She-Ra to his squadron mates. He's described as someone who could always brighten up a room and was a jokester who loved working out. His friends say he was a great husband and father to his young daughter.
You never get over losing men or women. So that part, while there will be people that will come in to replace at some juncture, you will never be able to replace Lieutenant Commander Johnson or Lieutenant King.
In Virginia Beach, Allie Weatherton, 13 News Now.
All right, let's get back to Jeff for a look at the evening's forecast.
Yeah, and it's not a great forecast if you like the warm weather we've had the last couple of days. It's also not a great forecast if you like sunshine, because we're going to have some clouds at times. And in fact, we have some out there now. We had the scattered showers we had talked about earlier. Not a whole lot of rain in terms of numbers of hours out of the day. That main area has moved offshore. That was around sort of the late morning, right into the lunch hour. Now the actual front is back here a little bit to the west. It's hard to see, so we'll zoom in a little bit. Right now, moving through areas of Sussex, right over toward the radar site in Wakefield. That'll continue to slide to the east, creating a little bit of a brief shower. So right now we're temperature very warm, 71 still. Northern areas have already started falling. The winds out of the southwest, that's very quickly going to shift to northwest and northerly in the next hour or two for a lot of spots. Maybe southern areas take another 2 to 3 hours. But as the pressure starts to, again, rise, as high pressure moves in, we're going to see those readings falling, and falling fairly significantly. You can see from 70 out there now by 6 o'clock, so not too far from now, within an hour, we'll be down into the 60s, and then we'll drop more and more down into the 50s, and with the wind it'll feel even a little colder. So take the umbrella if you're heading out. Only a 20% chance you'll need it, but a couple of spots you'll have an isolated shower.
All right, we have breaking news out of North Carolina. 5 more prison employees were hurt on the job just this week. On Wednesday alone, there were 3 separate incidents at 2 different prisons.
A department spokeswoman says the department is thankful all situations were brought under control quickly and no one was hurt. These incidents come after multiple prison employees have been injured so far this year. Last October, 4 prison employees were killed at Pasquotank Prison. Almost a year ago, an inmate murdered a corrections officer in Bertie.
New tonight, the U.S. Marshals say they've taken a suspected killer into custody after more than 2 years on the run. We're told Darrell Fine was taken into custody in Florida. Apparently, he'd been living under the name Carl Jones when he was wanted. He's accused of shooting and killing 26-year-old Monique Landis in December of 2015. He was charged with second-degree murder. Portsmouth police turned to U.S. Marshals for help. No word on when he will be extradited to Virginia.
A late-night high-speed chase ends in a deadly crash, and tonight we're working to learn who the driver was. State police sent us a picture of the car involved in the crash. It all started when we're told a trooper tried to stop the car with stolen plates on Northampton Boulevard near I-64, but police tell us the driver took off, even topping speeds as high as 100 miles an hour. The car crashed on Shore Drive in Virginia Beach, and police say the driver died at the scene.
Big event today for entrepreneurs in Norfolk. It's called 757 Launch. The goal is to collaborate with others and discuss resources available to people looking to start a business. Senator Mark Warner served as the event's keynote speaker. 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee takes us inside.
Senator Mark Warner said the key to making Virginia successful is investing in small businesses and fostering entrepreneurship. Inside Norfolk's retail incubator, you'll find small business owners like Sia Alexander, who runs a boutique that sells handmade African goods.
This was a perfect segue into the business climate of the Hampton Roads area.
And being friendly to small businesses is key, according to Senator Mark Warner.
But if you look over the last 20 years, virtually every net new job that's come into the American economy can be traced back to a startup. And one of the things that we're still not as good at in Virginia as we should be is helping entrepreneurs get funded, start their businesses.
So today, he spoke at Selden Market's 757 launch event. Old Dominion University junior Sophia O'Neill pitched her idea for a sustainable fashion line.
The freedom that it gives me as an individual, as a person, as a business owner, and also the ability I have to impact the world around me and see change in an industry that I really feel needs more of a wake-up call.
Fostering that excitement and those ideas are what Senator Warner said the state needs to prioritize.
What we're trying to do is do a better job of matching those people who want to start a new business with the entrepreneur who's maybe got the great idea.
In Norfolk, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
Developing tonight, a surprise announcement from President Trump. He's signaling that the U.S. could soon withdraw its troops from Syria. It came during a speech in Ohio that was supposed to be about infrastructure. He said that the U.S. was knocking out ISIS and coming out of Syria very soon. That message, a direct contradiction to his repeated pledge not to warn the enemy about U.S. military strategy. It caught his own administration off guard. Well, right now, there are 2,000 troops in Syria.
First of its kind endeavor in Hampton Roads, a bricks and mortar center specifically dedicated to linking military veterans with job opportunities in our region. 13 News Now reporter Mike Gooding was there for the ribbon cutting.
Well, and David, with such a high concentration of military folks here in Hampton Roads, this is a really big deal for the area, making the connection between the job opportunities that are out there and veterans, transitioning active duty personnel, and their spouses. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported in 2017 that veteran unemployment had reached a 20-year low, 3.7%, which is good, but what if you could get it down to zero?
3, 2, 1, go!
That would be a desirable goal for the new Hampton Roads Veterans Employment Center. The facility actually opened its doors in January, but they took a moment today to celebrate the milestone. It was my pleasure to MC the grand opening ceremony. Opportunity Inc. has partnered with the Hampton Roads Chamber and other corporate partners to enhance employment opportunities for the area's many transitioning military members.
No one in this community does not care about our veterans. We all do. We want to keep them here. But the fact that we're all under one roof now is important.
I think it's something that's been long overdue, and getting it publicized out in the veterans community going forward is going to be absolutely critical.
The center is designed to assist veterans, transitioning service members, and military families. Staff will be able to help secure employment in Hampton Roads through training, assist with resumes, mock interviews, certifications, and more.
Because it's good for them, it's good for our community, and it's good for business.
And I can tell you the business community in Hampton Roads is better off, and our veterans and family members are better off because of this facility.
The center is located at 861 Glen Rock Road in Norfolk. That's in between Military Circle Mall and Costco. It's open every day from 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. Reporting live, Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
This year's flu epidemic is so severe it's breaking records and not in a good way. In North Carolina, health officials say 342 people have died from the virus this season. That's the most deaths the flu has ever caused in that state. The state says there were 11 flu deaths reported last week, and 3 deaths in previous weeks have now been attributed to the flu. Almost all of those deaths were people older than 65. The other death was a child.
A new pilot program is underway in Chesterfield tonight, offering free Uber rides to recovering opioid addicts. Uber and Goodwill are partnering with the county for the program. Here's how it works. A person who needs help getting to treatment signs up, and Goodwill creates a profile for them. When the person needs a ride, they call Goodwill, who handles communication with Uber. Organizers say this program will help remove a financial barrier that may prevent some people from getting the treatment they need.
Right now, the former UVA women's basketball coach is fighting to keep her adopted child. Joanne Boyle retired unexpectedly last week. Tonight, she's working to finalize the adoption of her 6-year-old daughter, Ngodi, from Senegal. Boyle became the girl's legal guardian in 2014 and took her to the U.S. on a tourist visa. But the girl overstayed the visa because Boyle said the girl was sick. But to apply for more permanent paperwork, they need to go back to Senegal.
The best case scenario would be to get on a plane and we go to Senegal and we'd finalize this process in the next, hopefully, couple of months, and we come home with her IR3 visa and her U.S. citizenship.
Senator Tim Kaine says he's asked immigration officials to grant an exception so the pair wouldn't have to go to Senegal. But for the time being, they're preparing to make the 4,000-mile journey so Ngodi can come back for good.